Let's talk about the problem with the Black Manosphere. Okay. So how alpha is it for a group of 100 men to come together and start talking about women? To start talking about all the things and all the difficulty that they're having with women. To start talking about ways in which they were not being appreciated by women and all the difficulty and troubles, and focusing basically their attention on what women are doing. How alpha is that? Now, this is particularly true for us as Black men, because what we have to realize is that all groups of men in this world compete against other groups of men in this world. We have to acknowledge that, okay? And I say that we need to acknowledge it because an acknowledgement of that fact will get our minds off of the effects of quote unquote racism and instead get us in the game. Okay, because right now we're not in it. We're not involved. Right now, not enough, like it seems that not enough capable Black men are really focused on competing, on us intentionally helping ourselves to create infrastructure, to create systems, to create an environment, to contribute towards the betterment of the Black community. Okay. Now, in my opinion, a lot of you guys are hustling backwards. Okay. You're coming to a group of men complaining about the way that women are receiving you, about what women are not doing, about the way that they're not respecting you. They're not this for you. They're not doing that for you. They're, oh, well, a woman should be this and a woman should be that. And I get all of that 100%. I get it and I don't disagree with it. But I say you're hustling backwards because you have to understand that when we as men collectively, not just you, but when we as men collectively establish safe communities, establish structures and systems to create environments where a woman feels safe, feels secured, feels loved, feels appreciated, feels that she can come in and contribute. When we establish these things as men, then the things that you want from a woman are going to naturally come upon you. See, I think it's in a woman's nature to be submissive and feminine, etc., in an environment where they can be that way. If you put a woman in an unstable environment, you put anybody in a desperate situation, a situation that is not normal, that is dysfunctional and problematic, that woman is most likely going to rebel. She's going to do something out of character. She's going to do something that's against her nature because the society or the culture or the system that she is currently in is not right, is dysfunctional, is not an environment where she can come in and feel successful, or she can come in and feel that she can be a woman and be in her natural feminine role. Okay. So when we start talking about what is alpha is competing with other groups of men to establish, so as to firmly establish ourselves and express dominance in this world. That is what is alpha. There's no other way to describe it. Alpha is not sitting here crying about what a woman is doing. That's the exact opposite of alpha. And I'm not trying to insult anyone, but I have to just speak the language of the the language of the streets that I come from. That's some bitch shit. You see a group of men claiming to be alphas, sitting around here complaining about what women is not doing for them. You're hustling backwards, brother. Meanwhile, where are the strong Black communities, right? This is the questions we need to be focused on. Where are the strong Black communities? Where are the strong Black marriages? Where are the Black banks? Where are the Black hospitals? Where are the Black colleges? Where are the Black schools? I'm not saying that they don't exist, because I know some of them that do exist, right? But these are the types of things that we as men are supposed to be able to come together and talk about. We need to talk about establishing these types of structures in our community. And when we do that, the women in that society, in that world, in that community will naturally submit under us. Okay? And this is the message of alpha that need to be preached to our black boys, especially our young black males, because the problem, one of the problems that we've had for a very long time in America as black men and as black people is that we constantly want to paint ourselves as victims, that we're sitting around waiting for someone to save us. We're sitting here looking towards other groups of men who are expressing dominance over us to do something for us. It's not going to happen. It's not even their responsibility or their job. They're supposed to be expressing some level of dominance over the world that they are in. And so should we. This is my encouragement to us, is that we need to do this as well. Do you have backbone? Do you have heart? I know you have balls, but do you have balls? Like, do you have it? Do you have it as a man? Understand, and we've been brainwashed. We know we've been brainwashed. We know we've been taught to be soft. We know we was raised in unstable situations that made us question our natural right as men to be men. So instead, we express hypermasculinity over our own people in the form of violence. We express hypermasculinity over our own women in the form of abuse. This is facts. This is not what I feel. This is facts. Instead of competing with other groups of men, we're competing and destroying one another. We have incorporated racism, like anti-blackness, into our likeness. And it expresses itself in so many different ways. And these are the things that we need to talk about and we need to break if we're going to be alpha men. Alpha men are not talking about women. Alpha men are talking about expressing dominance over other groups of men. That is what is alpha. It doesn't mean we're going to kill them. We can talk about dominating our society in a way that's not illegal. It's not illegal. We're competing. And by us competing, we're going to actually help the society around us. By us competing with other groups of men, we will make the entire world around us better. See, a lot of black men have been taught to think, oh, well, if I compete with such, and if I try to express dominance over somebody, that must mean that I'm racist and that I hate the world and I'm going to end up in jail, in prison, or dead. This is the place that a lot of men, black men, are operating from, and it's not going to work. If we're going to talk that talk about us being alphas, let's really be about that life. Let's really be about that life. Don't sit up here and tell me you're teaching alpha male strategies and majority of your content is dealing with what a woman is doing and how women are doing this and how you need to act towards. Get out of here. That's not what an alpha man, no, I get it though. Trust me. It's coming from a place of love. I get it. But let's be real. Let's be real. Stop passing the blame on to women. Let's improve our communities. Let's get more black men educated, not just secularly. But the purpose of black men being educated is not just to have a certificate. It is to produce fruitage, structures, systems, results that can impact their lives and the lives of the black community. The last thing I'm going to say is this. I believe that that a particular portion of time in a black manosphere or in an alpha male manosphere should be dedicated towards examining the behaviors, the patterns, the path, the way of other successful groups of men. studying what they've done, what they did that worked for them, that helped them to create better, safer communities for themselves, their family, their culture, their people. Okay. And I say we should examine these things, not because we should exactly copy what they did. No, but there's lessons in this. There's lessons in it. There's some lessons in that we can then cross-examine with our own current system. Because what we have to realize as men, as black men, we're in a system. We're living in a system. We have a political society. We have a system. We have a world. It's just that it is destructured and devalued. And we are begging other worlds to make us a part of theirs instead of trying to establish our own world. Like we're acting like our world is not here. And like we're acting like we don't have the responsibility to build it up. OK, so we can look at other examples of other men who have done it successfully. And we may be able to then take, some bits and pieces from what they've done and, kind of implement these things in a certain way. But at the very least, it's worth examining. OK, the effectiveness, like it's like with me. If I wanted to be the best hunter in the world or the best whatever, the best of anything in the world, I would study the examples of others who are successful at the thing that I want to do. Not so that I can be exactly like them, but so that I can have a metric to compare myself to, so that I can have something like a target to aim towards, an example to look at. Okay. So again, like, share, subscribe, family. I would love to hear you guys' comments on this particular topic of discussion. Till we chat again, it's Urban Politics, and I'm checking out. Go on.